Guys, this is Bankai reporting live from the Nexus, and today I'm bringing you more. Well, actually today we need to have a real important discussion, guys. Unlike most of you, I think I never knew about Hawken's top players until very recently, really. I'd say maybe the most, maybe 2 months ago. Maybe it's a little over 2 months now, but when I say top players, who am I talking about here, right? Well, I'm not talking about the leaderboards. I'm talking about the go-to names. You know, players who everyone more or less would agree on. So you're talking Headstone, Zia, Blue Flutter, etc. In fact, the only top 10 player I was aware of until very recently was Ultimate Aztec. And I guess at the time when I started playing, Hawken was going through a real downtime. Well, I guess more than usual, you know. Hawken's always having a fucking downtime, but I guess at that time, many of these great Hawken players either stopped playing altogether or they simply weren't online at the time that I was playing, so I just didn't encounter them until more recently, you know. But one thing I've noticed and really want to talk about is the disdain and even disrespect shown towards Hawken's best players. I mean, even outside of the top 10, I mean, once a player is good, you just find that pilots tend to not like them, and I just find this attitude really silly. So keep watching as I break down what I believe is a very strange and I guess to be expected element in gaming culture, and I'll also be discussing whether or not I believe the best players ever are actually using AIMBOTs to get kill streaks. By the way, if you're a fan of gaming content just like this, you should definitely hit subscribe, commit to the Nexus for the most unpopular opinions on pop culture, and don't forget the sub button's friend, that little bell. Just go ahead and give that a click. Thanks. Now guys, let's just get it out the way real quick and say this hate for great players is not unique to Hawken. Every community has this, I mean any field or anything in the world where you have people who excel above others, you will have people being mad at them for no good reason. I remember back in the day when I was on this game called Ghost Recon Future Soldier. By the way, you'll hear me talk about that, Armored Core 5 and Dark Souls a lot. Alright, outside of Hawken, those are my favorite games ever, guys. Trust me, I love them like food. But yeah, back in Ghost Recon, I was a pretty good player, guys. I can't say I was the best, but trust me, I was one of those guys who would show up and the entire enemy team would leave the lobby once they saw the name Illumindi or Illuminid, as some of them took to calling me. So I'm sure I wasn't the best, but I could more than hold my own. And naturally I found that a lot of people had a lot of pent-up anger toward me, you know, even some of the players who were my friends. And if I'm being totally honest, typically the high-tier players didn't concern themselves with me in that way at all. I mean, most of them just wanted to beat me or have me join their clan. Actually, it was more so the average to slightly above average players who were always mad at me for some strange reason. Similarly, I can see this pattern in Hawken, and I find it very strange. And this isn't me picking on anyone, right? But you see, I'm nowhere near as good at Hawken as I was in Ghost Recon. And I guess that makes sense because I still haven't been playing Hawken for that long, really. But you know what's the strangest thing of all? The strangest thing I noticed in this, because it happens to me on Hawken as well, where people are just mad at you for no reason. The players who harbor the most hate are always the players who claim to only play the game for fun. Yet they get more upset about being outplayed than even some top players. I'll tell you right now, I'm not yet a top player in Hawken, right? But I don't play games just for fun, guys. I play to compete. I play to get better, you know what I mean? It's just my belief that if I'm going to dedicate all my time to doing something, then I'd better be fucking good at it. I mean, otherwise I might as well grab a bottle of lotion, some paper towel, and take out my laptop in a lonely corner somewhere and occupy myself with better things. But players like me who aren't top players, but play to compete and learn, seem to take less offense to losing than some of these so-called casual players. I mean, I know even top players who don't insult people and bash them the way these casual gamers do when they get outplayed. Just the other day I came across a video with, I believe it was Hizia, saying a lot of these pilots don't understand online gaming, and I must say I'm inclined to agree. I mean, these guys clearly don't understand the sport of this thing at all. And you know, I hate losing just like everyone else, guys. I mean, come on. But I know if I don't lose at the same time, it's like I can't improve. But I think we'll never really get to the bottom of this mystery here, and I think it's just human nature for some people to just be, you know, fucking bitter. But let's move on to the big question. Do top players use AIMBOT and or mouse and keyboard? do they cheat? Well, I can say this, guys. I most definitely don't believe any of these players are using AIMBOT. And I can kind of prove it as well. I mean, for the players we've seen upload to YouTube, observe any top player from their POV and notice some of their toes miss. Also, you know, look at their advanced movements when they play. And I'm sorry to break it to you guys, but that's not a fucking aimbot. I mean, not any aimbot I've seen, I can tell you that much. Go into co-op on Hawken and tell me that's what top players move like and shoot like. If you think yes, then I'm afraid you might be delusional and you may need to seek professional help at your soonest convenience on the matter of mouse and keyboard. Now, again, I don't believe that's necessarily the case, but obviously this one would be a bit harder to prove. And in any case, I don't believe a controller, like a professional controller or a mouse and keyboard, can make a great player. I don't think that can turn you into a great player if you're not great already. Although at that level of PvP, in terms of mouse and keyboard, for a top player who's already great to be using mouse and keyboard, I think that would definitely be cheating, and I think that would really give that person a huge advantage over you know, all other players who aren't using mouse and keyboard. But anyway, I'm making this video just to say, let's try and enjoy the game and not hate others just because they're good at the fucking video game, guys. I mean, I feel like we have bigger problems than that. And I guess I'm also making this video because back in the day, like I said, I was a pretty hardcore gamer, and you know, like I said earlier, I was very good at games like Ghost Recon, and I mean, I've killed over 70 people in one match on Ghost Recon in a matter of minutes, guys. And you know what I mean, I had no attachments on my gun, not even a scope, and there were only 6 enemies on the other team, and I killed the fuckers over 70 times in a matter of minutes. So you can imagine, I've been accused of cheating multiple times in multiple games, and truth be told, I've never even held a scuff controller in my hand, let alone use one, much less to say I'm using mouse and keyboard on console. I've tried using mouse and keyboard on PC once in my life. I hated it so much that I had to hook up my controller to the damn thing in order to play games on it. I mean, back then I was only using a stock PS3 controller to play games, and one that probably wasn't even working all that great, to tell you the truth. Basically, I know how it feels to be that guy who's being accused of cheating. So I know you don't have to cheat to be good at something, you know what I mean, whether that be a game or whatever it is. I mean, come on guys, that mentality is kind of pathetic, to think someone has to cheat in order to be very good. And at the same time, maybe I'm wrong, and maybe all these motherfuckers are cheating like a sexually frustrated housewife who stumbled on a bottle of honey goat weed. But anyway, what are your thoughts? Do you think this portion of the community who are anti-top player have a point? Do you think this stuff is straight up hating, and should they just cut it out? Please share your comments below, guys. You know I love hearing from you. And also, if you like this content, remember to drop me a like, and also to share this video with a friend. Until next time, guys, bang kai out.
Mission success.